Hey guys, what's up? Hitmarthroy here, and welcome back to Mario Superstar Baseball. Last episode, we fought Donkey Kong. Yeah, that was the thing that happened. He gave up pretty easily. He didn't do so hot. But we also challenged Wario, and while we did defeat him, he actually put up a halfway decent fight, at least by comparison to Donkey Kong he did. So in this episode, we're going to be continuing tackling on Wario's team until we recruit everybody, and with any luck, a little bit of luck and a lot of faith, we'll be getting enough challenges in order to clear through Wario's and hopefully the rest of challenge mode, as we've got some other things that need to get done as well before we continue onward. But we will see. This is the second attempt at this because the first round of baseball that I had against... Oh, that's great. Perfect. First round I had against Wario, I won 3-0. Not a single challenge mission appeared. Not one. Not a single one. It was a complete waste of time, and so I figured, you know what, we'll just start from the beginning. And I'll be doing that as well if that continues to happen. I'll just keep rolling around until I get a take that works. It'll let me get some practice in, if nothing else. There we go, that's more like it. Not the mission I would have wanted to see, but you know what, we'll take it. It's better than nothing. And as soon as I say that, of course, now I've got to intentionally just throw slow pitches in hopes that they will make really dumb mistakes. There we go, excellent. I really hate having to, like, throw really stupid pitches like that. Basically, just not even try on the pitching mound, specifically to try to get that mission done. But hey, we got it. And that's the important thing. Nice. That'll give us Waluigi and Magic Koopa, and one closer to Wario as well. If we can get Wario, then getting the rest will be a little bit easier, because we can just challenge Bowser Jr. We will probably be seeing him regardless of if we get everybody on the team or not. I'll probably challenge him at least once. As for why that is, we'll see once we get done with Wario here, with any luck. There we go. I didn't need anything fancy, so I just decided to go for nice and simple. Very good. Alright, Pianta. This is gonna be the episode with your character bio in it, so you gotta put in a good showing here. There we go, alright. Alright. 2-run homer, I will take that. No one tell him that the bios are re-recorded. I mean, technically, I do re-record them after. Like, one of the last things I do is re-record on my Valve Index with a better microphone quality. Obviously, it'd be a little bit hard to play this while that's going on, because I'd have to play through an different video, and so I'd be getting a bunch of lag, which is not optimal at all for a game like this. But there's no reason I couldn't take another look at Pianta, which, I mean, granted, I'll probably do that either way, just because of saying I would probably do the second BIOS. So, we'll see. Oh, I thought I had that for sure. Ah well, 2-0, that should be plenty in order to win, so now it's just a matter of recruiting the characters. We will see how he stacks up, though. I'll probably put in Pianta somewhere during what we're doing in the extra section, which will be some coin collecting and stuff we've already seen before. For the actual game, though, I'm not going to worry about it as much. Hey, King Boo, how's it going? One of my favorite underrated characters in this game. But can we recruit him? The answer is yes. I think we're just missing... No, I think we actually have everybody. We're either just missing Waluigi or we got everybody. Oh, we're just missing Petey. My mistake. We'll go pick him up pretty easily either way. Alright. We probably will not see any during this batting segment with anybody, for the simple fact that usually if you're going to get a mission while you're on the batting side of things, it's almost always going to be one that will impress the pitcher, which will usually be the team captain. one of those versus matchups like Mario versus Wario or something like that. So I may or may not be not trying very hard in this inning all of a sudden in order to make the game progress go a little bit faster. And we do have a PD. Nope, it's just a star chance. That's disappointing. Like, don't get me wrong, having the star abilities is nice, but if they weren't in the game, I don't think it would ruin the game for it. It does kind of put that Mario stamp on it, though, because, like, how much do you take away from all the extra non-baseball stuff before it's literally... It goes from a Mario baseball game to a baseball game with Mario's face on it, if you know what I mean. I know those are rearranged words, but you gotta have something that makes it Mario besides just the Mario characters, right? So it's understandable. Alright, Gryffindor, let's see how you can do. Gryffindor, Harry Potter. Oh well. Harry never struck me as much of a good baseball player. It's probably fine. Unsurprising MVP choice there with the home run. That was a very good home run, too. That was like right up out the middle, too. No power bat or anything. It was a really good shot. And yes, Wario is, of course, ever the strategist of planning to take over the team. But the joke's on him, as he will not be the team captain for this run. Alright, so that is every character that we can possibly recruit in challenge mode, with the exception of 4, but there's a little bit of an asterisk there. You probably noticed on that screen that there were 4 characters missing. The hidden character that I won't spoil, even though you probably already know who it is, Bowser, Bowser Jr., and the Dry Bones. Let's see if I can... No, I didn't think so. Those characters are not available in the campaign normally. They are not available with any captain normally, so it does not matter if you chose Peach, Wario, Yoshi, or Donkey Kong. Regardless, they would not be able to be obtained, and once we go to Challenge Bowser, you'll see that the challenge flags actually won't be there at all. So, even if you did have those challenge flags and you recruited them, it's like, hey, you recruited them on your team, but because you just beat Bowser, your campaign of challenge mode is over, so you don't get to use them. So we'll talk about how to get those at a later date. Just know that it is supposed to be that case. No, you're not supposed to have them at this point. It is completely normal to have those 4 missing. Everybody else is recruitable at this current point in time. First and foremost, we're going to quickly grab Wario's extra ability here, and I'm going to grab one of these that I'm missing. I'm going to start with the... I want to make sure it's the Super Ball, because again, you can go and check this. Yep, we've got the nice bat and the power bat, so we'll buy the Super Ball. I don't actually need it for anything, but we're just buying it to check it off that list. And then we're going to go play some minigames. I know we've still got one more extra one to do, but we will show that at a slightly later point. And I'll just go with Classic Mario, and we're going to crank this up to the high setting. One of the downsides to unlocking all of this extra stuff, besides the fact that it of course needs a lot of coins... Sorry, I have to focus whenever you're playing this one. One of the downsides of needing a lot of coins, again, it goes hand in hand with that problem that I mentioned earlier, how you have a limited amount of times you can play each minigame. Which, not the biggest fan of that gimmick, but oh well. I get that they don't want you to just grind out having an item for every match. Which, that part's fair. Maybe, like, limit how many times you can buy the item, I guess? I don't know. There was probably some better way to balance that, is my point. Regardless, that can be one challenge you kind of have to overcome of if there's a fair few minigames you're not great at here, then getting all the items in one run might be a little tough. If you've got 1 or 2 that you're good at and the rest are kind of, you know, just eh, this part could be a bit of a challenge. 21-13. What a year it will be. provided mankind has not self-imploded by that point. But who can really say? That's for people over 100, well, not over, slightly under 100 years from now to know. And for me to not find out, because I will not be around by that point, for better or for worse. Alright, so now we can grab the whiskered eggplant. And you'll notice we've got a couple coins left over, and yet there's still some stuff we have not bought. Alright, I'm going to double check very quickly to make absolutely sure on the ones I need. I think it's the glove and the buddy badge, yes. It is worth noting, if you pick up an item and you don't want it for one of these one-time use things, you can overwrite it. It will let you know that you'll lose what you'll have. So I'm going to buy that. And then I'm going to buy the buddy emblem. Why would I waste 200 coins like that, you say? The reason for that is quite simple. It is for this item list. Not because I want the screen to look complete, but that very last one in the bottom right can only be obtained once you have bought every other item on this screen. The first two that we're missing are Bowser and Bowser Jr. specials, so of course we wouldn't be able to get those right now. That leaves only one other thing to pick up. And that is what we're going to use the rest of our coins for. But first we gotta get them, because it's a decently expensive item at 500, so you do want to grab a fair few coins. So if you're not very good at the high difficulties for stuff, you'll probably have to play a fair few games. If you've got one game you're really good at on a high difficulty, this would be your opportunity, your ideal opportunity to show it. Part of me does want to try to go for a double play here, but I think ultimately I'm gonna pass. Bet you thought you saw that one coming. But nope, I'm always one step ahead. And then promptly about 3 behind, but that's not the point. Let's just finish this off here. Nope. I'm afraid not, my man. Yeah. If you are not good at the minigames, by any chance, technically a way to make money would be losing on the easiest difficulty, meaning you would lose 50 coins, but Bowser Jr. would reappear and you could get 100 from him, so you would get a profit. Just bear in mind that's probably not the best way to do it. However, one other thing we can do is our final minigame here. I love this game. You can find gems here. Run and find them. You play this minigame 3 more times. You love this game, Lakitu? That's great. It's luck-based, and I hate it for that very reason. Yeah, this is a luck-based game. So this is a pure speed game. You're going to want somebody in the speed category. Ultimately, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. As you'll see, I'll barely be able to outrun the Magic Koopas that are going to be challenging me, but you should ideally go for a speedy character. Get first place to clear is the case on all difficulties. Collect gems while Chain Chomp naps. You clear the game if you collect the most gems within the time limit. Stop immediately when the Chain Chomp wakes up, you'll get pounced and keep moving. What they don't tell you there is you will lose half of your current gems. Gems come in 1 gem and 10 gem increments. The small green ones are 1 and the big red ones are worth 10. When you see a large gem, it's a chance to take a huge lead. Mushrooms will briefly boost your speed. And that is it. Much like rounding the actual bases, you need to hit Y to go, you need to hit Y to go counterclockwise. That always feels backwards to me for some reason. You need to hit Y to go counterclockwise and hit X to go clockwise, mash B to go faster. When Chain Chomp wakes up, tap the opposite of Y or X, whichever direction you're not running, 1 time. The instinct is to hit it multiple times, but what that will do is turn you around and send you to start running the other way. You do not want to do that. Even if you've got a mushroom, all you need to do is just tap it once. That's it. The instinct would tell you no, don't do that, but I'm telling you that is the correct thing to do. Yeah, he got greedy there. Get up to that big gem. As you can see, unsurprisingly, the gems do spawn randomly, which makes sense. I'll give you that. It does make sense. However, this means that, yes, it is absolutely entirely possible, and I have seen it happen many times, that sometimes you'll just be in the wrong area, and as a result, you will lose through no real fault of your own. And there's not really all that much you can do about it. Like that gem that just appeared over there. There was really no way for me to get that, and even with the mushroom going the other way, I still didn't have a shot. I probably should have gotten tagged out right there, but for some reason it didn't. The only reason this is going as well as it is, though, is specifically because I'm getting lucky with where all of the placements are. There you go, 44 gems. I will say on my other run of this, I got 46 on a failed one because the team challenges never popped up against Wario, and about halfway through, going through the full episode, I decided to just start from scratch. And despite having 46 gems, I would have lost had somebody not gotten hit by the chain chomp at the last second, and I had not got hit the entire game. They were up to, I think, 48 and got knocked down to half, which is 24, and that's what caused them to lose. So yeah, a little luck-based. Not the biggest fan of that one. You probably will not see me grinding coins there. It will almost assuredly be Bomb-Omb Derby first, Piranha Panic second, Wall Ball third, and really the last two are kind of interchangeable. But there's a little bit more skill to Barrel Batter. But if you play that one on easy, you're probably going to be okay. But no, if, like, wow, I just lost on easy despite all those strategies, it might literally just be because the gems did not appear in an area you were in at any given time. You might have just straight up had bad luck with that. And that's not really your fault. There wasn't much you could do about that. Sorry. It's really obnoxious, but unfortunately that is a fact of life in this case. I probably could have made that steal, but I didn't. Or I chose not to, rather. Gonna stay in the line, barely. Alright, so now we're in the same position we were a second ago. The only difference is now we have 2 outs. Let's have a little fun. That's gonna be a foul, yep. Alright, Luigi, you gotta do it, my man. You gotta do it here. We'll do it. If you're wondering why he didn't try to throw it, I think he knew that it wasn't going to get to first in time, and third was already there, and home was already home. But there we go. That's the last 100 coins. I believe it's only, pretty sure it's only 500 coins for that, and it might be 6. Oh no, we're below that. Alright, well we got to do one more minigame then. That would be the optimal time to do Piranha Panic one more time, and now we can show off the character bio for the last character on Mario's team, which is the Pianta. That's about a minute long, so I'll see you guys at the end of that. If there's a small part where I'm not talking, it's probably because I'm still playing through this game. See you guys in a second.
Rounding out the last of Mario's team, the Piantas. They're pretty decent batters, surprisingly okay at fielding, and considering the best pitching stat on the team is a, 6 out of 10, 4 out of 10 ain't bad. These guys work just about anywhere, surprisingly. Catcher is a position you stick somebody you really just don't want losing the ball, so anybody goes there. They can pitch decently well if you don't want Mario or Luigi to do so. They can synergize with the outfield if they're basemen, and if they're fielding, they don't err as much as most on the team, and they can use a laser throw to send the ball to home lightning fast, in case of emergencies. The big thing you'll have to figure out with them is how to effectively bat. They're not bad by any means, but getting used to swinging effectively with them, charge swing or not, will probably determine whether you keep them over the Nokis when it's time to swap out players. Me personally, I would probably say keep the Piantas over the Nokis, and definitely over Monty Mole. But if you feel like they're too slow and ineffective as batters for you personally, 2 strikes might be enough to send them to the dugout. Also, probably a personal opinion, but any baseball bat that does not look like a traditional baseball bat can automatically put you off of a character. Don't necessarily let that be the case for the Piantas. If you can find the right spot on the bat to keep effectively swinging to hit the ball deep into outfield or over the fence, that's one more reason to keep them on your team.
And that's that. If for whatever reason we still didn't have enough coins, we could challenge Bowser Jr. again now, but I know 800 is plenty of coins. We are more than set. So, that final item at the shop. This can only be obtained, I will make sure to say this very carefully, this can only be obtained after beating every minigame on any difficulty you want. You can do them all on easy, in a single run of challenge mode. If you clear challenge mode and you've done 4 of them and you come back and do the remainders, that's not going to count. It has to be all in one run, but it can be on any difficulty. So if you've got ones you're not good at, stick to the lowest difficulty. There's no need to play them on hard mode. That will unlock the secret map for 500 coins. You might get lucky. I will get lucky, and unfortunately for me, it's going to be bad luck. For 500 coins, you get this warp pipe that will be on this run of challenge mode and all subsequent runs, and it takes you to the final minigame of this area, which is Toy Field. I don't like Toy Field. I'm going to come back to this at a later date when we've got a little bit more time, but this is where you go for Toy Field. It will always be a 10-turn game, if you are familiar with Toy Field. There's a lot to go over with it, and I hope that doing my research I might be a little bit better at it by the end, but I wouldn't hold out much hope. I'm not very good at it, and I'm not a big fan of it. But do know that if you, like me, are not a big fan of Toy Field, good news, there's no reason to go there other than gaining coins. Doing that and successfully completing it does not unlock anything, so you can just straight up not have to worry about it. Alright, with Bowser, let's get started here. You'll notice that there is 5 innings instead of 3. I did mention that way at the beginning of episode 2, I believe. But other than that, the only real difference is, again, that you cannot recruit any of the characters on his team to your own. So you cannot get Bowser, Bowser Jr., the Dry Bones, or the hidden characters that we'll be seeing pretty shortly here once Bowser's team is up to bat. I just realized how much little confidence that sounded like, because it sounded like I was going to be losing my turn at bat very quickly. I'm hoping, though, that's not the case. We'll see how it goes, though. We'll talk about Bowser's Stadium a little bit more once I get the opportunity to be on the pitching mound. Try to sound a little bit more positive. But I do like this stage more. I mentioned this is one with higher walls like Peach's. I do like this stage more than Peach's. I think this one is a lot more beneficial towards the batter than hers is. Double play, but we scored a run, and that's always a nice little positive. It's interesting, too, because even on the lowest difficulty with Mushroom, because there are more innings, you get more opportunities for a mercy rule, oddly enough. You'd have to get 10 runs in 2 innings if you're playing any other team. Here you get 4, so you've got twice the opportunities. So if you can manage to get 3 runs per inning on average, I know it's technically 2.5, but we'll round it to 3. If you can get 2 and 3 and then 2 and 3, you've done it at that point. You've gotten mercy rule. It's kind of crazy to think about, but it is a nice little advantage. But it does make sense to extend the game a little bit longer, since it is the final bout of your challenge run on challenge mode. Hi. I don't get to physically tag people out with the ball very often. Bowser stage. Again, like with Peach's stage, this is the only real arena that's got particularly high walls, which of course means that hitting home runs, unsurprisingly, is going to be a little bit more difficult on this stage. However, thankfully, that's pretty much the only downside that the batters have on their end of the field. The upsides, you've already seen quite a few of them, and you can see several of them on screen right now. The team stars, they're located all over the place. Some on the walls, some on the ground, and some are actually outside of the foul lines, if you can believe it. If you run these over, you get a team star. They do not respawn, same as Wario's, same as I think also Donkey Kong's, maybe until the inning ends, that one I don't remember for sure. But it is worth noting you can only hit them one time, which is a bit of a shame, but it also is a little bit understandable. The other thing, if it will show up right here, the lava bubbles, or the fireballs, whatever you'd like to call them. That should have been an out, but okay. The lava bubbles will, of course, come up, and they will potentially land on the fielders. Should they land on the fielders will be, unsurprisingly, set on fire. And if they are set on fire, yeah, I should have been more careful there. And if the fielders are set on fire, then that will stun them temporarily. The ball can hit those lava bubbles. It will not turn the ball into a fireball, quite literally, sadly. It will just destroy the bubble. So if it hits one of those, it will just get broken, which is a bit of a shame, but what are you going to do? I'm going to try to have Toad steal. Let's try to get some headway here. We've also, of course, now, from the outfield there, and also from the batter's box, whenever they were up batting, and in the background right there, we've seen the final character on Bowser's team, which is Hammer Bro. Asterisk. They actually are technically varied. They are palette swaps like you've been seeing with the different colored Toads, the different colored Piantas, etc. But they are labeled as different things. The green one is your traditional Hammer Bro, the blue one is a Boomerang Bro, and the red one is a Fire Bro. The Fire Bro just has a normal type of bat. And I was going to go into more detail, but I think it best we wait. We'll wait until their bio will eventually come up, but that's going to be much, much later on. So for now, we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to keep playing and hopefully strike out Bowser here, because if he hits the ball, there is a very good chance it will go over the fence. So we're going to try our best to prevent that from happening. Excellent. Of course, he is on the lowest difficulty, so I'm not expecting him to be too terribly tough here. Like I said, I personally think, at least if you're playing on the lowest difficulty, if it's your first time playing, probably the team that will give you the most difficulty is Peaches, just because both her team and her arena are very biased towards the defensive side, so it's very hard to score runs. And I do think ultimately probably having a better defense is more important than having a better offense for you personally, because if your defense is so good that they never score, that means all you need to do is just score once. And if you can score once, at that point, you've got it. Alright, Luigi man, show us what you got. Not much. Granted, that was my fault because I swung way too early there. There we go, that's much better. Use that 6 running stat, Luigi. Do what Mario can't. Yeah, I was not planning on just staying there forever. Nice try. Not doing too great of a job here, but I've got the lead, and that's kind of the important thing. I can't actually remember if I've said this now or in the failed recording, because we've had 2 failed recordings, one where no challenges showed up against Wario, so I just didn't want to waste the, like, 7 to 8 minutes that it took to get past him. And the other one because there was a bunch of kids outside in the pool making a lot of noise, which is, like, fine from a standpoint of, yes, go be kids, have fun, but in terms of trying to get my audio editing to not take 45 million years, that would be a little bit harder. But it is worth noting, and you will already know this by this point, rather than I, that if a video runs a little bit past 30 minutes for a finale episode for the challenge mode, I'm kind of okay with that. Just because I do know that the Bowser matches take longer just by the virtue of having more innings. So, if we go a bit long here, that's totally fine. I would say by this point I'm expecting to, because we've got about, what, a little under 3 minutes left, and we've still got 2 more innings to go through. Plus it'll show the credits and, you know, all that lovely stuff. I actually don't remember if it shows the credits at the end of challenge mode. It might do that on the highest difficulty, but I don't know if it will do it on Mushroom. We'll find out. It'll be an experience for all of us. But now we get the experience of a star chance. And it looks like we will, in fact, be enjoying that experience there. You can see the, No thanks, I didn't mean to actually go for second. You got to see the out-of-bounds team star there. I probably should have gone for that earlier. I didn't think about it until it was too late. Yeah, that's alright. I'm kind of okay with going quickly here now that I've gotten 2-0. It does feel like Bowser's team plays slightly, and I'm saying very slightly, better than the other teams on average. Maybe not all the time, but on average. Hey, check it out. It's a ground rule double. You usually don't get to see those very often. Those will occur, and I think we've gone over this potentially already. Whether we have or not, you're probably about to see an annotation right now of me re-explaining it, because I'm probably about to say it wrong. A ground rule double occurs when the ball goes past the foul lines of the bases, and then goes out of play after hitting the ground or a wall or something that would no longer make it live to where somebody can catch it for an out. Most of the time that you think about this is usually a ball hitting the ground and then bouncing over the back fence, which is not considered a home run. But this is also one of those cases too, because obviously they can't just jump into the lava to get it. I guess the dry bones technically could, but either way, you get what I mean. No thanks, I'm good. I'm not gonna just walk into that. I said I was gonna put a little bit less effort in, but I'm not gonna be that dumb. Maybe if we get up to like 6 or 7 runs. I don't know. We'll see. He says as we're about to get up to 6 runs. It would be kind of fun to Mercy Rule Bowser, but I don't know if we've got enough time and outs left for that to happen. It's definitely not a guarantee right now. Oh, the other part about Bowser Stage. I completely forgot about it because it almost never comes into play because I'm usually not much of a home run person. There are womps, as you can see right there in the back right. The womps will come down whenever a ball gets too close to them. This is a way to prevent home runs from happening. They still can squeeze between two of them sometimes, and they also can still go over them because sometimes having them high up like they are and then they drop down might have actually sent them too low, and as a result they don't protect against that home run. It doesn't happen very often, but it can. Well, 2 outs and 9 runs, so I guess we'll see. Oh, it's all up to Noki. We're doomed. No mercy rule for us, I'm afraid. Oh, actually, that's going to be in play. Barely, but it's in play. Who do we have to... well, we can't use her special if we get that far. No, that's going to do it unless Bowser makes a mistake. Yep. He almost got hit by a fireball there walking off the field, but alright. I guess we're playing the full way through. Oh well. That probably means I'll unfortunately just kind of... I hate to be the obvious, but I feel like I'm not going to be trying very hard on in the batter's box for the 5th inning. We've clearly reached a point of just trying to get to the end now. But I mean, again, this is Mushroom difficulty. It's not exactly very hard. It will definitely be more exciting in later episodes where I might actually be up by several runs like this and be like, nope, I can't take my foot off the gas, because the minute that I do, I'll give them an inch and they'll take a mile. But we'll also have more missions and stuff like that, so it'll be more interesting. And we'll have better teams, too, because as I mentioned, I do think Mario starts out with the 2nd worst team in the league. So, for the time being, it's only going to get better. The teams will only increase in how good I think they are. It's worth noting, I think probably there's only one team I would consider as... I don't even know if I would say bad, I would just say the majority is not good or even average. But if you've been watching along, you already know which team that is. Now I'm mostly just trying to see if I can hit them into the deep field to try to have somebody actually get hit by the fireball. Though I don't prefer to charge swing with Shy Guy. I find base hits usually do just fine. That's going to be the 3rd out. Oh, I thought that was going to hit Hammer Bro, but that's okay. 19 hits. Look at all those beautiful hits. Alright. That actually would have been a pretty solid hit had it connected. Bowser Jr. is a very interesting power character. He's probably the one that's the most different from all the other characters. If you've been watching the bottom of the screen, the bottom right of the screen, that is, to see like what type of character these are, you've probably already noticed that the bulk of these characters, and actually all these characters on his team, are either power or technique. The Dry Bones are technique characters, literally everybody else is a power character on this team. I will be sure in each episode that we debut a team, as I did with Mario's, to mention like what the composition of the team is in terms of the different, what their focus is. It's kind of a mixed for Mario's team, as we saw, because we've got 3 power characters, 2 balance characters, and 4 speed characters. So other than having no technique, it's decently balanced. And I think it's probably actually the most balanced in terms of having different types of characters. But I don't know if that works well for a starting team, oddly. I feel like just being like, yeah, this team is technique focused. You'll learn how to play a technique team really well with this. Would almost be better. But now we can have congratulations, because our team is number 7. Wait a minute. There's not 7 teams in the league, there's only 6. That must be number 1. You get to see all the confetti, all the characters you brought with you on that final mission, and the world's lamest participation trophy. That is a tiny trophy. I'm pretty sure I got a bigger trophy when I got first place in the Pinewood Derby and Boy Scouts back in the day. But you also get this picture of all the characters you recruited, which means that if you did not recruit anybody, that's going to look like a really small picture. It is funny, though. And that's cleared. Challenge to the next level. You can now select Bowser Castle and the Star Dash minigame. Bowser Castle, unsurprisingly, is given to you by beating Bowser on that arena. That's how you get it. The Star Dash, I'm not sure, so an annotation's going to pop up now to tell you exactly how to get that. And of course, clearing the mushroom level lets you get the flower level. We can now use Monty Mole. What this means is using him for all of the stuff in the main menu, the exhibition, toy field, stuff like that. Every single team will have a character, quote-unquote, missing for playing all the main modes. The one for Mario's team is Monty Mole. So if you unlocked a different character, that means you started with a different captain. We're going to save the clear data here. Mushroom level cleared, and next time on Mario Superstar Baseball, we'll be going back through challenge mode again, only this time it's going to get a little bit harder. Very quickly, just to show it off what I'm referring to, in case you hadn't seen it yet, we've got some question marks here for characters that we cannot yet pick, but Monty Mole is here. So there's one for Peach, one for Yoshi, one for Wario, one for Donkey Kong, and one for Bowser that we still have yet to see. You could probably guess pretty quickly by looking through all those and then remembering how the teams looked before in order to figure out who those characters are. But I'll leave it a secret for now. Till then, take care, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one when we start Flower Difficulty of Challenge Mode. Later.